So if you guys are wondering why I am outside, it is my birthday month, and as you can see, I am in the beautiful South Padre Islands. And listen, I really want y'all to stop using Zoom for your webinars. I have a client that I recently helped convert from Zoom webinars over to WebinarJam, and I just got a Voxer from her saying that I was right about WebinarJam, as I always am, and that already she has increased her conversions just by simply switching platforms and leveraging the features inside of WebinarJam. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am Ebony Evaughn, your go-to business operations strategist, here to help you grow your business through people and processes. And today I am back with another tech review for you, and today is actually going to be a comparison video. I'm going to do a comparison between WebinarJam and Zoom Webinar. So if you are not familiar, Zoom has a webinar plugin that you can use to turn your Zoom meetings into webinars. But when you actually compare Zoom to WebinarJam, the WebinarJam is most likely a better fit for your webinars, and I'm going to break down why in this video. So I could go on and do a comparison about all the different tools between WebinarJam, EverWebinar, and Zoom, but for the sakes of keeping this video short, I want to focus on the 3 core differences between WebinarJam and Zoom that can help you to maximize your webinar sales and conversion. So first things first, I want to start with pricing. Now, typically whenever I do a comparison video, I always do pricing like in the middle or towards the end, because I don't want you guys to make your decision on what tools you're using solely based on price, right? Because a lot of times people would just go with the most economical option, and that's not always the best thing for your business. So but when it comes to WebinarJam versus Zoom, I want to do a comparison. So I'm going to hop on my laptop and we're going to look at the price as it exists right now, and I'm going to explain some key differences to you, and then we'll get into the actual features that you should be paying attention to. So let me just turn on my record, and then we're going to look at Zoom pricing versus WebinarJam. So right now I am logged into Zoom, and when you go to webinars and events, you can see that the price for Zoom is based on the number of attendees that you have, right? So the best option for a webinar is going to be this Webinar Plus option, which is in the middle. And you will notice right off the bat that depending on the number of attendees that you have, it's going to dictate your subscription price. So on average, most 6-7 figure business owners that are using webinars as a primary webinar marketing strategy within their business, you are going to want at least 500 attendees, right? The capability for up to 500 attendees. So you can notice in Zoom right off the bat, for Webinar Plus, you don't even have a monthly subscription option, right? If you're doing 100 attendees or less, then you can pay by the month. But starting at 500 attendees, you have to do the annual subscription. And I always tell my clients, when you are experiencing something for the first time, I never recommend going with the annual subscription unless it's a tool that you know 100% that you're going to use the entire year, and that you're going to use it frequently within your business, right? If you're only doing webinars twice a year, it doesn't make sense for you to be paying an annual subscription for something that you're not constantly using. And so if you're using WebinarJam, you have to do at least 500 attendees, and then you have to pay annually. There is no monthly option. So this is going to be $290, and I hate when people will say per month billed annually, but they don't tell you what the annual cost is. So we're just going to click on buy now so we can see what this price is. I believe it's roughly $3,500. I think it's $3,490, but we'll see what it says plus tax. So depending on where you live, you're going to also have to pay tax on that. So yeah, the subscription price is $3,490 for Zoom Webinar Plus to have up to 500 attendees. If you're going to have more than 500 attendees, of course your price is going to go up, and I want to say that's about like $6,000 or $7,000 a year. So let's hop over to WebinarJam's pricing and plans page, and I'm going to tell you what the best comparison is for Zoom Webinar Plus, which is going to be starting with WebinarJam's basic plan, right? You can see that when billed annually, up to 500 attendees is $79 a month, but you can also toggle this over to monthly, and you can pay a monthly subscription that is only $99 a month. That is a big difference between $290 a month but paying annually, or being able to have the option to pay $99 per month, right? So first things first is when you compare them based on pricing, you have more flexibility when it comes to pricing with WebinarJam. But not only that, we're going to get into what you're getting for your prices. So for $99 a month, you're pretty much getting everything that you get with Zoom Webinar Plus, which is estimated $290 a month, but you have to pay annually, which is $3,500. So based on the price that you're paying, you're going to get more for less with WebinarJam than with Zoom's webinar plugin. So before I get into the specific features that are going to be better, more optimized for sales inside of WebinarJam, I just want to think about the concept of each one of these platforms. When you think about Zoom, Zoom is pretty much a meeting platform that added a webinar plugin or extension to it, right? So if you look at a comparison of Zoom versus WebinarJam, I would consider Zoom to be a good fit if you're doing meetings, or if you want to have a conference platform where you can have discussions, where you can have breakout sessions and rooms that people can network and communicate with each other. But if you want a sales platform where you can use it like a sales stage and presentation, then WebinarJam is going to be a better fit. Now let's get into the actual bells and whistles inside of each platform that will impact how you actually get sales and conversions. So first things first, one of the main reasons why I love WebinarJam for webinar marketing, especially if you're a coach, course creator, or you have a digital high ticket program that you're trying to get sales for, is because it is optimized for sales at every aspect of it. So before your webinar, during your webinar, and after your webinar. So when it comes to WebinarJam, they have the most optimized registration and thank you pages that I have seen out of any platform. Live webinar, webinar kit, Demio, whatever the platform is, WebinarJam hands down has the best optimized conversion pages for your registration. And if you're not getting people to even register for your webinars, no one's going to show up, then you're not going to have any sales. So that registration page is going to be key to you getting registrants for your event. Now, if you look at Zoom, yes, they have enhanced their registration, so it's no longer just that basic little sleek white enter your name and email address. You can add your branding and stuff, but it is still not optimized for sales. And you want to make sure that your registration page is the most optimized registration page it could be, because that dictates everything else in your webinar sales funnel, right? In addition to WebinarJam having better optimized registration pages, when it comes to the in-app presentation and experience for your clients, WebinarJam just does it better. It eliminates distractions, and in fact, the reason why I'm making this video is I got a Voxer from one of my clients, and she switched from Zoom to WebinarJam, and she wasn't even using the webinar plugin. She would just do her webinar, and then like you can see all the other people that are there, the attendees. Some people have their cameras on, they're eating. People have like noise going on in the background. People are chiming in to ask questions, and so it creates an environment for a lot of distractions, and WebinarJam eliminates all of that. So you don't have to worry about the the distractions, people speaking when they're not supposed to, people being distracted by other videos. Webinar Jam is literally a one-to-many presentation, so that it only focuses on you, or if you have any co-hosts or whatever, then they're visible as well. Now, in addition to that, when it comes to your live presentation and the experience for your clients, Webinar Jam just does it better because you have the option to add polls and quizzes, you can have handouts, you can embed your presentation, you can inject videos, you have an offer button. So it is literally optimized for sales presentations and to get you sales. And you don't get all those bells and whistles with Zoom. Now with Zoom, yes, they've added where you could do polls. Really, bird? Yes, Zoom has added additional features where you can do polls and have files and all that other stuff, but the experience still is just not the same as what you get with a platform like Webinar Jam. Another pro why I'm always pushing my clients towards Webinar Jam is when it comes to just your post-webinar analytics and the information that you have about your clients. So number one, you get better analytical tracking to see not only who shows up to your webinars or your events, but you can see what time they came, if they came like 15 minutes into your webinar, if they left early, if they only stayed for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, who made it all the way through the end. You just get better insight that helps you when it comes to your marketing. If you want to do retargeting ads, if you want to send customized emails based on how long someone stayed on your webinar, right? You just have more data that you can leverage so that you can tailor your messaging and your marketing a more specific way. So those are going to be the core benefits or the core differences that I see between Zoom and Webinar Jam for why I always recommend Webinar Jam to my clients. Now, like I said, I can go on and on and on about all the big differences, but those are the main things. With Webinar Jam, you're going to have better optimized registration pages to increase your conversions when it comes to people actually signing up for your event. When it comes to the live experience and being able to have polls and quizzes, handouts, brand your room, Webinar Jam is going to have a better experience. And when it comes to data analytics and insight about the people who are showing up and how they engage with your presentation, Webinar Jam is going to give you better insight and analytics as well. So those are going to be the core differences. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions about Webinar Jam or if they have any specific features that you're looking for. If you want to see tutorials, let me know that down below this video as well. If you found this video to be helpful, make sure you give it a like. If you're not already using Webinar Jam and you want to take it for a test drive, you can sign up for Webinar Jam using my exclusive affiliate link in the pinned comments as well as the description of this video. If you sign up for Webinar Jam using my exclusive link, then I will send you free access to my Webinar Correct webinar marketing system that helps you to optimize your webinars for sales and conversion. Otherwise, I just want to say thank you guys so much for stopping by my internet home. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and turn on notifications so anytime I post another video just like this, you, my friend, will be the first one to know about it. Bye, y'all. You can go deeper on this topic by watching the playlist on the top right of the screen, but if you rather have me build these systems for you, you can see how you can work with me using the link to the right. Otherwise, watch the video above because it's what YouTube thinks you'll like best.